Well, after putting this guy in the oven for 327 years, this guy had turned out to be a bit raw. It's not a gal, nor a baldy. What the hell am I doing wrong? What is going on, guys? MG2005 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the high-grade Galbaldy Rebake from Gundam Build Divers. So, first of all, excuse the lighting because I am rushing this. I'm going to be leaving tomorrow. This is the same day I did the unboxing on, so the lighting may be a bit dim, so yeah, you gotta take my word for it for the colors. So yeah, that's it. So this is basically the child of the Universal Century timeline and the post-disaster timeline, because this is based on the Galbaldy Beta, which is a Universal Century mobile suit and full of elements from the Gundam Gusion Rebake from the post-disaster timeline. So what is the result? Well, it is a pretty decent looking suit and not a lot of stickers, unlike the Gusion Rebake, for God's sakes. Well, speaking of that, you have the black ones over here. Well, while the left one has a black trim which contains the mono eye, which is unmovable. It is stationary, by the way, so yep, don't expect any advanced mechanics, but it's understandable because how are you able to like map the entire mono eye along the track? It's basically impossible in today's engineering without like electronics to do the job for you. And then you have the yellow ones on the vents, on the gigantic pieces of shoulder armor, and then the power buttons on the shoulder armor. And I believe that is it on the body. And for the cannon over here, you have these double white trims, which fit on rather nicely. Yep, to be honest, I initially didn't like the design when it was first revealed in the trailer, because I was expecting like a full-on post-disaster mobile suit to be customized, not a Universal Century kit disguised as a post-disaster kit. But in the end, when I started building it and when I first saw it in the anime and get to learn its bells and whistles, I started to grow attached to this kit, and I really does hope this guy gets like a full-on full city upgrade in the later parts of the anime. So, yep. Well, this guy really took me by surprise. And for the brown, I think it is like the same as the Gusion Rebake, not the full city version. But then you have this kind of like a chocolate brown like you see on chocolate milk. And also this generic Gundam yellow. And also like brown joints instead of gray joints, and basically the Galbaldy hands, which do not have the sharp finger manipulators. So yep, this guy is looking more Galbaldy than post-disaster, but nevertheless I do like his design, especially with the head. The spikes remind me of the Barbatos or Barbatos. Well, Barbatos is the correct pronunciation, so why not? So yep. And then the gigantic horn, which basically adds a bit of oomph to the baldness if you remove the entire horn. So, all in all, in appearance, I really like this guy. But there are a few drawbacks. So for seam lines, with this being a simple build, there are quite a bit of seam lines. They didn't do a great job hiding the ones right down here on the arm, right down here on the balls over here on the shoulder, right down the backpack. The legs, yeah, down the thighs. And this, they did a good job, I believe. I do not know what to say because I was rushing this kit, so I may not be able to experience its full quality. So, yep, the legs, they really did a good job. But then the shoulders, the arms, and then the thighs and the backpack really need some improvements, need some touching up before putting on display if you're anal about that stuff. And yeah, for some reason, the right hand arm, the joints always comes off. So that's the details for the Galbaldy Rebake. For the articulation, I am not sure if it's the same as the Galbaldy Beta, but let me go through it anyways, so correct me if I'm wrong. And please point out the differences in the comments below. So the head is on a double ball joint, but it cannot go up too far because of restrictions of the back of the head. And yeah, the white strip over here is the sticker. And then the arms, they are not on the generic polycaps. They have some custom joints that can slide out and go forward and back. Also, it has a pseudo polycap that it can go up and down on. So basically, this allows full range of motion, excluding the ball joint, which also does a little bit of rocking. The shoulder armor cannot move at all, but the flaps in here, the thruster flaps, can move individually, although they are very tight, so, well, please be careful. And then the arms can rotate and bend at the elbow at one joint, similar to the older high grades. And somebody in the preview photo said that these joints look like Gundam frame joints. Don't know what to say, the side looks different, but the front with all the detailing and stuff, it looks kind of similar. And then there's a ball joint here in the torso, probably like the Galbaldy Beta, and then a ball joint at the waist, so good rocking, good rotation, 360 in fact. The front skirts come separate, side skirts are hinged, back skirt is a gigantic shell block, and the legs can do the funky dance, go to the dance club. The legs can go forwards, backwards, not at all because of the shell. All the way out, probably, yeah, all the way out. Rotation at the hip, a double jointed knee, which is pretty good until the back piece hits the shell. And then the feet, they can go forwards and back a little bit, side to side a little bit, rotate a little bit. And then the gigantic cannon over here, which I still need to read the instructions to confirm the name, it can go up and down. That's it. So all in all, it is pretty good in articulation. Despite its bulk, it is alright. So, yep, you can pull off some pretty dynamic poses. So for the accessories, first of all, you have the gigantic large caliber Howitzer in the back. So this is just basically 2 pieces, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 pieces of plastic, which, yep, as you saw, can point up. But this creates a gigantic back issue, pun intended, because the majority of the cannon is facing the back rather than the front. And since it is just basically clamped into the backpack, you cannot dislodge it unless you dismantle the entire backpack or remove the entire backpack. So, yep, a big downside is it is not pegged in. It is just basically sandwiched inside. And also, it can create a bit of back issues. Unless you adjust the entire body correctly, it is gonna fall. And this also creates like space issues because you can put an entire mobile suit behind this guy with the cannon up. So yeah, basically just leave it down, I would recommend, but it's all up to you guys. And then you have the Knuckle Guard, which I think is a reference to the Galbaldy Rebake's Knuckle Guard. This is a bird claw that basically flips out, wraps around the hand, and then basically he's ready for punching. Ready for boxing matches, people? Take on this guy up close and you'll meet with a fist to the face. Third on the list is the shield. This is a plain old shield, 3 brown parts to make up the shield and the gun down there, and a sticker for the power button. And it just basically goes onto the hole on either arm. However, no matter how tightly I pack these 2 pieces of armor, it will still fall off in due time. It's alright now because it knows that I'm recording, so it would do its best to stay on, but when I was prepping for the recording and mounted the shield on, it just falls off, like, I don't know, from time to time. So, yep, it may be just mine, but I recommend you stiffen up the joint for the shield. And last but not least, its signature weapon, the hammer pliers. Well, it is less sophisticated than the scissor variable rear armor of the Galbaldy Rebake Full City because it is jointed in the middle, so you can basically just open it up and clamp people to their deaths. And let me show it off with the pose. So it, well, the hand just flew off, and then you just basically try to take off the hand cover because it is so hard to find a gripping point. Over here, there we go, and put one side in and do the same for the other. So In order to avoid being redundant, I'm going to fast forward this for you guys. And here you go. It took me a while. And you cannot adjust the angle, in fact, with the hands on, since one of them may pop off, specifically the one holding the longer handle. And I forgot to mention, all the whites you see on the hammer pliers are stickers. And the hammer pliers can also be stored in the basket, just like so. But the holder would not cooperate with me some of the time because, well, I removed it, but it will fall off from time to time because it is a flat surface thing pegged onto something on a round surface. So if they're not flush together, they have a chance of falling off, and by just basically pushing this thing in, it would basically dislodge the ball joint in the torso, so you need to peg it back on. Similar to the problem I have with the high-grade revised Zeta Gundam. So yep, keep that in mind. And of course, it can be wielded as a normal hammer. So basically take off the hand covers, take off the hand first I guess, and just basically have the flat side facing down, and peg the hand cover back on, and peg the hand back on. And with the joint not coming apart, this guy can actually hold up the entire hammer. And raise poses, no problem. Raise it up into the sky, no problem. But although the manipulator is kind of weak and the weight may just overwhelm the manipulator, the shoulders and the arms can hold up the entire weight of the hammer, but not the suits, of course, due to loss of gravity. But yep, the most important problem of this kit is solved. So that's a credit to Bandai. So that's all the accessories for the Galbaldy Rebake. So I do not have the Galbaldy Beta, so there is no relevant comparison in the Universal Century, but in the post-disaster century, I have two kits that relate to it very closely. So here is the Gundam Gusion Rebake. The same brown, and not the same orange, but yep, you can definitely see the similarities there. And the upgraded browner, more crusty version, the Gusion Rebake Full City. So that's the end of the Galbaldy Rebake review. All in all, I think this guy is a pretty worthy addition to my collection because, well, I have been looking for some like post-disaster references in like these kind of build series, and this is like the first full-on one. I know the Barbarossa's mace appeared in Island Wars, but this is the first full-on like mobile suit to have referred to the post-disaster timeline. And to be honest, this guy in mechanics is not that great because when I was putting in this pose, I ran into a lot of issues like the hands just basically not cooperating, the joints not cooperating, the hand cover is just falling off all over the place. But all in all, this guy is a pretty good looking kit. It resembles the Gusion Rebake just enough to not like derail it from looking like a Galbaldy. The cannon looks amazing, although it will get like in the way if you raise it up. The arms can support the gigantic hammer, and it's just basically unique looking while looking like the best of both worlds. So I would recommend this guy to anybody who likes either of the timelines or like them both. So basically to anyone. And the build is simple, so this guy will be a beginner friendly kit. Of course, you have to deal with the arm joints coming apart, the torso coming off of the waist, and also the gigantic seam lines seen all over the place because it is a simple build. Just a simple touch up would just basically fix the job. And of course, the quantity of stickers is not large, so yep, definitely friendly to all builders. So this guy is a definite take for me. So thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did like it, please be sure to drop a like, comment, and also subscribe for more model reviews, gunpla news, and all that kind of stuff. Subscribe to the channel featured on my channel page if you haven't, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out, guys. Bye bye.